The extortion of Americans continues as President Biden is laughing. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, February 11th, 2024. And, of course, we are being extorted by our president from illegal immigration to funding the Ukraine war to now once again going after canceling student loan debt. And, of course, he is laughing at the Supreme Court, saying that they can't stop me. And, of course, he has gotten away with parts of it. We know it is unconstitutional, but, of course, right now, nobody cares. And this is, again, always the problem as you go back to the Martin Niemöller poem, which says, first they came for the trade unionists, and then by the time they came for me, there was nobody left to help. And I think we're once again in that position. And if you want to continue to let these things happen, then God help us, because it's going to be a problem. You've got major issues with law and order throughout the country, as we had the migrants kick the shit out of some police, got away, got out without bail. Okay, you've got the leftist mayor of San Francisco now begging the GOP to help restore law and order. Why would we ever give up law and order in the first place? Okay, why would we give in to the criminals? Oh, it's because they're buying votes. Okay, let's be clear about the illegal immigration and the problem behind it. Forget about the money it cost. Forget about the amount of the California budget, which is well over 60% by the time you tie in the health care and the benefits and just the overall cost that they account for with their budget for illegal immigration. But what about the rest of the states, Arizona, Texas, who is blocking them from coming in? And remember, they're not all only from Mexico. There are many from everywhere that go in through Mexico. Okay, so let's keep letting in the terrorists. Let's keep letting in the criminals. Let's keep letting in the drug dealers. Let's keep letting in the slave traffickers, and let's keep paying for it as we get extorted through taxes to pay for all this bullshit that is going on. Okay, I mean, you have a between Ukraine, between the immigration, between student debt cancellation, between the massive national debt, which is ridiculous. When are we going to wake up and smell the coffee and tell the government to quit spending? Okay, remember, government creates nothing but debt. Now, we can continue to talk about how good the jobs numbers are and how good inflation is. Well, let me ask you, how is your inflation? How is your spending? Okay, are you paying more at the grocery store? Okay, and our poor farmers are getting hammered on the price of their grains. I mean, they're going to have to plant at a loss if they're going to plant this year at all. But yet, nobody cares. And of course, other commodities throughout the world are exploding higher. It's an amazing facts that we're watching, and the destruction of the greatest country in America in the world, which is no longer among the huge leader, which unfortunately we should be an island and not being worried about the rest of the globe. Maybe it would be nice if we took care of the United States of America first, okay, instead of last. And instead of letting Americans pay to finance the rest of the globe, maybe we should finance to take care of our own right here, okay? Because if you haven't been out in the streets lately, the amount of homeless that are out there, the amount of people that are living in the streets, the amount of debt that is being created. Can you imagine the credit card delinquencies and auto delinquencies are soaring between the groups of 18 and 39? Now, groups between 18 and 39 should not be in this much massive debt, which has been created to create serfs or slavery in this country, because all you are doing is working to pay back your debt. I think that we have a system that is failing, that is breaking down, and you can blame, in this case, the left, okay? Because the the nouveau riche little shit squad, okay, is this on the road to destruction to get rid of the middle class and make it the rich and the poor. Okay. And of course, we continue to watch the major destruction. And of course, our president will come out and say, well, we're going to wipe away the debt. Now, why would he wipe away the debt? Oh, because he wants to buy votes. But it's been concluded by a special counsel that Biden is too senile to stand trial. Okay. I mean, now again, we don't have to only talk about the left, because the criminals on the right are just as bad, with in many cases. Of course, with the border deal falling apart because of McConnell and his crew. So we don't have to only focus; we have to focus on our system. Okay, and isn't it a tragedy that the DNC files a complaint against RFK because of alleging illegal super PAC coordination? Now, again, it's hard enough to get on a ballot as an independent, let alone get another party to be able to run. So we continue with the same argument, which we give you is you get Coke or you get Pepsi, but you get no RC Cola. So basically, two criminal organizations run the country, steal the money, and we don't have a choice for a third, for an alternative. Okay. But the only way that's ever going to change is if we, the voters, step up and say enough. Okay. Because this is a point where we're at a very key point in history. You now have Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen admitting that they don't expect prices to come down. So that bullshit numbers they give you of CPI is garbage, which is what we have said and contended all along here. The same as we contended that COVID was a bullshit disease that was sent over from China almost as chemical warfare. Okay. But yet here we are still talking about the same BS. And of course, Harvard renews its COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Okay. Joining 69 other schools, which we'll talk about in our commentary. But you got to be kidding me. Do you want to talk about getting your freedom stolen? That's exactly what is happening to you. And of course, if you ever saw the movie Brewster's Millions, one of the best stories of the week was that in Nevada, none of the above won as the candidate for the Republican Party. We got 69% of the vote over Nikki Haley. Okay. Now again, you may not like Trump, you may not want Trump, but I will tell you this. Okay, as a Trump fan, okay, I will tell you that the country never ran smoother than when he was in office. Okay, and I'm not saying that he should be the next in office, but what we have in office now ain't worth a shit. And what we have now is a massive destruction and the massive increase in debt, in which, unfortunately, we, the taxpayer, get the privilege to pay for. Okay, so if you think that this is really what's worth what we're giving up for it, I would suggest you might want to think again. Okay, because whether you be a Republican or a Democrat, you should be an American first, and you should be thinking about the way that this country has fallen apart. And however old you are, each and every year things get worse. And each and every year things get worse because of shitty government and because of their ability to scam the taxpayer out of their money. And of course, as I go back to 2008, and don't think it won't happen again, there'll be another bank meltdown, and you and I will be the ones paying the bill. Okay. And of course, now that they've got you by the stones, streaming prices have gone ridiculous. Okay. And the explosion of it. Now you have Amazon showing commercials and TV that you're paying for. Netflix is next. It's going to be nasty and ugly. And it's only going to get worse until we, the voters, step up and speak our mind. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, the 11th of February. And of course, it is Super Bowl Sunday. We'll have some props and our pick for the game later. But in the meantime, we're going to stop out here for a break, and we'll be back with our market report right after the break. What's up, everybody? Well, again, of course, I have some sponsors who sponsor the show, and always want to share them with you. And two of them are brokers. And again, I have other brokers. It's not, look, I vet them, I use them. I never recommend something that I don't use myself. And our brokerage partners are Capital Trading Group, who is partners with us on our commodities and futures products and helps us take care of everybody and does our letter of direction trading, get the greatest customer service. They truly and genuinely understand the consumer and the client, and certainly check them out, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. Our other brokerage partner is Tradier, and of course, Tradier, first of all, is $10 a month, which is unbelievable. I'd say it's me $100,000 a year. Number one. Number two, Tradier can automate with us, okay, at no cost to you. Okay, the only automation you pay for from us, our portfolios are free. Our hedging is a licensing for our hedging, but it does not affect your costs at Tradier. It is still $10 a month. Check them out, try.tradier.com/Bubba. Of course, our new partner, Wealth Charts, Rob Hoffman over there, their new platform, and some other things they do. Check them out. It's a great operation. And of course, don't forget about our high school program, which we're getting back into business and getting it back set up again. And so we can go back to try and help educate our children. On the sides are some scrolling. And of course, our high school program is scrolling on the bottom. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz. It is Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, the 11th of February. And of course, markets continue to climb the wall of worry. And I think this is one of the things you always have to remember, okay, is that the more there's worry out there right now, the higher the markets are going to go. Okay, their markets are not ready to go down yet. You have to watch the trend. You have to watch this business. In the meantime, we are long three out of the four major indices, everything but the Russell. And the Russell looks like it wants to pop now too. But you got S&P over 5,000. You got the NASDAQ over 18,000. The Dow's going to get to 40,000 almost assuredly. And of course, we are long three out of the four. And of course, I'll give you what our positions are supposed to be now. But of course, you know that, and not until the morning of Monday or tomorrow, that we will update where we're going to be, because we do go flat now occasionally. In the meantime, as I said, the index are up, but the dollar, we would be long, but we no longer trade it. And it's not because we're worried about the dollar, it's because the costs at the COMEX. Euro currency, we are short. The Bitcoin, we are long, which continues to explode once again. It's getting ready to hit 50,000 now. Bonds and notes, we are short. And of course, that is telling us that interest rates are not going to get cut so fast. And I would think that the only time interest rates will get cut will be before the election, if the administration can convince the Fed to cut, because if you believe the data and how good it is, then they can't possibly cut interest rates. So there's the oxymoron of the entire thing. In the meantime, copper is getting hammered. We're short the metals. We're still short gold and silver. They've really been just stuck in a range, but silver's been uglier than gold. And of course, platinum is back up below 900, in which I'd be looking to be a buyer again. And so I think copper, I think I already said, but I'll say it again, is going lower. Natural gas is going lower. We're short. Crude oil has turned higher, but we are still short crude. But at the end of the day, again, we'll see. It is showing how weak the economy actually is, because it should be much higher. And if the economy was good, then Saudi Arabia would be cutting rates. It would be cutting production, and of course, forcing prices higher. In the meantime, in the farming grain markets, it is unbelievable. They continue to get hammered day after day after day. Every rally gets sold. We continue to see a push up in cattle, which we don't trade anymore, but we would be short. And again, they're overpricing the market. The consumer cannot afford to buy steak, and only because there was a shortage has the prices continue to rise. But we'll see. We're short. I'm short. We're not short. We don't trade anymore. Hogs are moving up a little higher, and they did fail for where we thought they would, and then are now rallying back again to those levels. In the softs, cocoa continues to make all-time new highs. We're still long. Cotton is well over 92 now, or 91, excuse me. And of course, we told you to buy it at 79. It continues to go higher. Sugar is higher, and we're long. OJ is skyrocketing again, and we're long. And coffee is higher, and we're long. So, again, it was a little whippy, quiet week, but I expect to see a little bit more action as we start to move into March. I got a couple of weeks left, obviously, in this leap year. But overall, the markets, again, they're going to go up. You can make all the cases you want in the world that they shouldn't go up, but until they don't go up, you better be prepared, okay? Because at the end of the day, the markets are going higher, and if you fight the tape, you're just fighting yourself. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with our commentary and some Super Bowl props. We'll be right back with more after the break. Well, kids, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but again, our partners, I have other brokers, but Trade Your Brokerage, Capital Trading Group, Wall Charts, and our high school program, scrolling on the side and on the bottom. Check them out. Listen, it's for your own benefit, not for mine. I'm trying to help you out and put you in a good position. Let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and our commentary and some Super Bowl props and our Super Bowl pick. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, the 11th of February. And of course, as I mentioned in the opening, Harvard is now going back to mandating vaccines, which again, if you don't think that's not a strike down against your freedom, then you're an idiot, okay? Because anytime they mandate something, okay, is that is not necessarily in your best interest, and it has been proven that the vaccines are not that big a deal. It has been proven that COVID is not that big a deal. It's nothing more than the cold or flu, and the numbers that are reported are the same as if we didn't have COVID, we just had the cold and the flu, okay? But again, it's really more about taking away your freedom. And especially when you take about your major institutions. I mean, we've already seen the troubles with some of these, with the DEI shit from Cornell, Columbia, and some of the other major Ivy League schools that now want to control your life under another circumstance. Now, again, I don't know what you think about it, but I think it's just another way to steal your freedom. I think it's a joke. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that if you would even think of going to those schools, you're an idiot. Because again, if you're going to go somewhere and be mandated to what you have to do, every company that I do business with personally, if they force mandates on their employees, I don't do business with them. It's okay. I can live without them. Okay, just like I can live without Harvard and all those other shit asses, okay, that think they're too good for everything else and want to control your freedom along the lines of the government and Bill Gates. So, hey, you don't care about your freedom? Don't say anything about it. Just sit back and do nothing. Okay. But at the end of the day, they're stealing your freedom. And if you like to have your freedom given away, hey, do your own thing. In the meantime, it is Super Bowl Sunday. And of course, we do like Kansas City. And we do like under on some of the receiving props, under Travis Kelce, 74 yards. We like over Isaiah Pacheco, 66 yards. We like under on Brandon Ayuk. We like under on Deebo Samuels. We like under the pass attempts of Brock Purdy. And, of course, we like Juszczyk to score a touchdown at 9-1. Okay. Just a couple of things there. And we'll see how it all plays out. But if you're a player, look for unders, okay, in the prop market, because the props are usually all been bet up pretty big. And it's your edge is going to come to the downside. In the meantime, I gave you the ones I like the best. And there is one more I like. I forgot. I think I gave it to you yesterday. But I do like under 14.5 total people to receive a pass. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll see you back here tomorrow, which should be a holiday because it should be President's Day after the Super Bowl. But what are you going to do? More ignorance. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update.